In behavioral psychology, there is a term called passive aggression. Passive-aggressive people are opaque and experts in playing the victim card. The modern-day power game is full of such people. It is tough to argue with them. They will hit you and then start playing the victim card on even the slightest chance of rebuttal. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host, TEJASVI Malhotra, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI English channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Coming back to the story in this video, I'm here to give you full details about yesterday's proceedings in Parliament. If you watch television news, it is not tough for you to understand that most of what is available on the medium is not news. They are just busy broadcasting their opinions on the particular piece of news. People also love to watch spicy statements. More often than not, they get lost while watching them. The downside is that often full facts do not come out in the public domain. This is exactly what happened in the media coverage of the verbal scuffle between Sonia Gandhi and Smriti Irani. On 28th July, the Parliament of India became center stage for the debate around morality and ethics prevailing in the society. News reports emerging from the spar between BJP and Congress MPs in the Parliament presented a particular version of the story. As expected, the story was centered around Sonia Gandhi, portraying her as a victim. For some reasons, MALHOTRA found it apt to mention Sonia Gandhi's age as well. Maybe she wanted to make it more melodramatic. It is natural for someone even remotely watching TV news to feel sympathetic towards the old lady. But facts narrate a totally different story. And here are the facts. It is well known that Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary made unparliamentary, disdainful and frankly obscene remarks against President Draupadi Murmuji. Later, he apologized for it, terming the remarks as a slip of tongue. But keeping his record in mind, it is tough to believe that it was the only mistake on his part. In past, he has used derogatory remarks against PM Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and even his own party members as well. Naturally, BJP members won't believe that it was a slip of tongue. Particularly, Smriti Irani, Minister of Women and Child Development, was not in a mood to let it go lightly. The comment was outright misogynist, and Irani, being in charge of protecting the dignity of every woman, would not tolerate it. She took the charge on floor and castigated Congress party as a whole and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary in particular. Smriti Irani particularly exposed the bias Congress party held for a specific group of women. Pinning the blame on Sonia Gandhi, Irani said Sonia Gandhi sanctioned the humiliation of poor women who ascend to the highest office in this country. The voices from both sides were getting louder, and so the speaker decided to adjourn the house. Meanwhile, Sonia Gandhi then walked towards the seat of RAMA Devi, a senior member of BJP and one of the panel members of the chairpersons of the 17th Lok Sabha. Our source present in the parliament has told us that she wanted to get the full details of what transpired in the proceedings. She wanted to clear the air around the reasons for her name being dragged into the issue. If you think about it, it is quite bizarre, since the person whose statement is hurting your sentiments can give more clarity about it, and no better person than Smriti Irani could answer Sonia Gandhi's queries. Coincidentally, Smriti Irani was not far from her. She understood that it was about her speech on the floor. Mrs. Irani politely approached Sonia Gandhi and asked, "How can I help you? I took your name." As soon as these courteous words came out of the minister's mouth, Sonia Gandhi got infuriated. It was literally visible in her body language as well. Her eyes were red and fingers were pointed towards Smriti Irani. She rudely told Smriti Irani to not even dare to talk her. Quote, "You dare not talk to me." Everyone present there got the idea that Sonia Gandhi was clearly threatening her. Watching their madam get angry, Congress MPs also joined her and started making noise on the floor. It is possible that they did it in order to cover the mistake of Sonia Gandhi. But the way Congress party members have behaved on the whips of their madams in the past, it seems more likely that they did it in order to intensify the threat perceived by BJP MPs, particularly Smriti Irani. For a moment, it felt like they are about to push Minister of Women and Child Development. BJP members also sensed it and ran towards the scene in order to protect her from the threat. Both Smriti Irani and Sonia Gandhi were surrounded by their respective party members. The spar between both party members continued for a bit and then all of them marched outside the parliament. But when the actual news bite was produced, almost every news channel showed that Smriti Irani had caused some kind of atrocity on Sonia Gandhi. But as always, the reality is totally different, and in fact, exactly opposite to what is being claimed by these portals. Sonia Gandhi perpetrated the attack, and then Congress party and her supporters started to portray her as some kind of Virangana who came out unscathed from the battlefield. In other words, Congress party is trying to use women card to protect probably the most powerful women in the country. But they do not have an iota of word for Chaudhary's remarks against a lady who used every hurdle as an opportunity and rightfully became the President of India. Why am I saying it? Well, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has himself termed Sonia Gandhi as her guardian in the wake of controversy around his comments. It should now be clear that Congress party is for anything but women empowerment.